Open for business. That's what many states are saying to corporations. But attracting business is not always an easy sell, but it can mean big bucks for struggling states. So how do states attract business? Well, to discuss this issue is John Boyd from the Boyd Company, and we thank you for joining us, John.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk about the ways to attract businesses to states and who's successful and who's not.
There are certain common denominators among successful states that are attracting industry right now. These are states with a low or no personal or corporate income tax. States like Florida and Texas and South Dakota, for example, are doing very well right now. Also states with access to trade corridors, ports on the East Coast like Newark, Savannah, Charleston, as well as inland ports like major international gateway airports like Dallas and Atlanta.
Is there one state that has seen a greater growth in the last year?
Well, Texas and Indiana have been leading the nation in terms of job growth.
Okay. I don't think I would have gotten that trivia question either, Texas and Indiana.
And again, these are states that fit the profile, states with low tax rates and pro-business governors.
Well, let's talk about what everybody's talking about today, and that is the big presidential debate. Let's talk about how the candidates weigh in on these, trying to attract business to the United States.
Right. Well, it's
and we'll start with President Obama.
Okay. It's no secret that business is very skeptical of President Obama, and we'll be watching the debates very closely tonight. I think business would give this president a D-, and the proof of that is that the private sector right now is sitting on $2 trillion of cash that they're not using to hire new workers or buy new equipment or expand their businesses, and that's because of concerns and uncertainty about new taxes, new regulations, et cetera.
And how do some of the international companies view Mitt Romney?
I think Mitt Romney comes from the private sector. I think there's hope that he can do several things. Reform our tax code is something that he's been talking about. That needs to be done. America has the highest corporate income tax rate in the world. That needs to come down. And immigration reform is another area that business would be paying very close attention to.
And we talked about Indiana and Texas, but on the international front, who's attracting a lot of businesses there?
Right. Puerto Rico just attracted a major pharmaceutical project with
Johnson & Johnson. Sure, just read that.
Costa Rica has been a destination for the medical devices industry. Medtronic has major operations in Costa Rica.
Well, we hear about our nation's deteriorating infrastructure. So is investing there a good way to spur the economy and necessarily generate new jobs?
Absolutely, and this is something that Obama gets right. Obama, a major priority of his, if he's reelected, he wants to create an infrastructure bank that provides low-cost loans for regional infrastructure improvements, so highways, roads, bridges, ports, and business likes that. It's going to help our economy compete more efficiently.
So that D- might go up a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. Now, virtually every governor is also on track with this in terms of bringing in new jobs. Who's doing a good job there?
I would mention Rick Perry in Texas, Rick Scott in Florida, Mitch Daniels in Indiana.
Okay.
Dennis Dugard in South Dakota is another pro-business governor. And even Mario Cuomo's son, Andrew Cuomo, a Democrat in New York State, has been very pro-business and done some things to lower public pension costs in New York State.
Oh, let's talk about your company in Princeton, New Jersey. You have the ear to some of the nation's leading corporations when it comes to expanding. Talk to me about what you do.
We service a very broad spectrum of industries. We counsel companies where to locate their facilities. And one of the new trends now is bringing jobs back to America. For the first time in many years, America is competitive again. And it has to do with the weakened U.S. dollar, historic bargains in the U.S., the financial crisis in Europe. So we're very busy right now helping overseas companies find new sites here at home.
And what is one of the largest areas of growth in terms of business? We talked about some of the biotech companies, Johnson & Johnson relocating to Puerto Rico, but what about some of the other areas?
Well, the healthcare sector, the energy sector, but also data security, financial service operations that place a premium upon keeping information safe. These are the type of jobs that look more favorably upon U.S. operations.
And one last question before you go. Any of the under the radar, I guess, issues that that are affecting a company's decision to relocate somewhere?
Access to green energy. There's tremendous social and PR value that a company can have by using green energy. An example would be BMW, which their newest manufacturing facilities in central Washington state. A big reason why is because of hydroelectric power.
Okay. Very interesting. All right, we thank you again, John Boyd from the Boyd Company in Princeton, New Jersey. Thanks for joining us here on Ebru Today.